Moon Podcast Escalation! Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan D. White.
My name is Chris Sims, and this is Sailor Business. It's the podcast where we sit down with a friend each and every week and watch an episode of the classic 1992 Sailor Moon anime and talk about why it is that we love it so much. And y'all better douse yourselves in water and repent, because the shit is hitting the fan.
Yeah.
This week, we are going to be watching episode 123 of Sailor Moon S, Shadow of Destruction, The Messiah of Silence Awakens. This one originally aired on January 28th of 1995 and was written by Megumi Sugihara and directed by Harume Kosaka. I forgot to do that in the last two episodes, but I think that's an important thing to do.
No, I think you might have done it last episode.
No, I definitely
didn't.
2
episodes ago, I mean. 2 episodes
Two episodes ago I did, but I definitely didn't do it in the last one.
This episode has a legit surprise in it.
Yeah, this episode, we have talked before about it. I have never, until we started doing them on the show, I had never watched past the end of Sailor Moon R. I was very surprised in this one, but we'll get to that. For now, let's introduce our guest. We have a very exciting guest, someone that we've been wanting to have on the show for a long time, because she sent a great email back in 2016. Literally 51 weeks ago, I got this email. And you had emailed before that, too. Lindsay Ariel is here. Lindsay, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am very excited to be here. Thank you.
So, Lindsay, you had some very good things to say in your email, some things that I'm very excited about talking about. So,
Thank you. I was very nervous. I was like, oh, I have to make this sound good or else I'll never get on the show. But I didn't exaggerate everything. Everything is, true.
Yeah, I mean, you started by giving me your zodiac sign, your blood type, and your birthstone, and you said it was a Hell Yesmerald.
Yes,
which was very good for me to hear.
Yep.
So, Lindsay, what is your history with Sailor Moon?
It's a little long-winded, but it is a good story. So, in high school, my twin brother, freshman year of high school, he got into Dragon Ball Z. It was on Toonami, and around the same time was Sailor Moon, and he's like, you have to watch this show. You're going to love it. And I literally was like, I don't want to watch Sailor Moon. That show is for babies. I literally, I would say that. He was always kind of pestering me, but I did watch Dragon Ball Z with him. And Toonami had this thing, they got the rights for the first 3 DBZ films. It was Dead Zone, World's Strongest, and Tree of Might. And so the second week when they showed World's Strongest, right after they said, and stay tuned next for Sailor Moon. And my twin brother turns to me and he's like, okay, watch this one episode. This one episode. If you don't like it, I'll never bother you again. And so I was like, fine, whatever. And so the episode comes on and the title is A Crystal Clear Destiny.
Oh,
I know. And you had this debate of whether this is a good episode to start or not. And for me, at least, it was the best episode to start.
Oh, that's so good.
It kind of had everything I needed and I didn't know. It was funny and it was really dramatic, and I was a little lost, but I got the idea of what was going on. And it was a big climactic episode, and what sealed the deal was when Tuxedo Mask gets impaled the first of many times, and then the song plays. When My Only Love started playing, that was it. Feet first, full crazy fan.
So good.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because I've thought about it, and I too, Jordan, am a big Darien fan.
Yay.
I have always adored him. He was definitely a big crush for me when I was a teenager. And it kind of makes sense if you start off with A Crystal Clear Destiny and go onward, why I think he was great, because you kind of miss all the jerkiness he does, because he dies for his love in this episode, and then he's turned evil, but he's fighting it, and then he dies again, and it kind of like he gets better once you start off on that platform. So I'm a Darien fan, Mamo-chan. I stand by it. So yeah, so that's basically how I fell in love with the show. It was like a huge part of my life. It actually helped me make friends because I was pretty like lonely and like on my own for a while. And I got into anime because I got into anime. I met other people who got into anime. Mm. But yeah, so I formed a lot of friendships. Someone who I'm still friends now, and we get together, and we've had Sailor Moon slumber parties. One actually we had just very recently. We all got together to watch the R movie.
Oh, the R movie is so good.
It's a lot of fun. It's crazy and like so melodramatic, and it's just I love it. What did I call it? It was my party, and I called it like Mamo-chan's crazy stalker X. But yeah, so we got. But anyway, okay. So like the thing I was most proud of during my teenage years as a Sailor Moon fan is that I had this website, and what was really great about it was that it was not on GeoCities or Angel Fire. One of my best friends, Jamie, actually had her own server. And she was like, yeah, you can have your website on my server. So nice. it was oneblackRose.org was the name of the server. And it was called Queen Serenity's Moon Kingdom. And I like set out to have like this one-stop, all-encompassing, find everything you need on Sailor Moon. It had profiles on all the villains. I never actually got it into completion, but it had, profiles on the characters and storylines, and you could even go to like different sections and watch GIFs of all the transformations or all of the different attacks each and every scout had. I put a lot of time and work in it, and I really loved it so much. And I believe I actually was talking to Jamie recently, and she may actually still have the bones of the website on a file somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really the best. I always think of it very fondly. It was just a show that meant a lot. And actually, Jamie is who is one of my dearest friends, introduced me to a good friend of hers. We went to different high schools, but she went to high school with this other girl. Her name is Chris. And I don't know, maybe you guys might meet her someday soon. In like a week or so. It could happen. But just like the character of Sailor Moon, the show brought me friendship.
Yay.
I think the question that everybody is curious about right now is, did you have a Rini hate shrine?
Oh, come on
your page?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not have a Rini hate shrine. I was never really fond of her in R, but like many people, like if you got past R into S, you appreciated her so much more because she was so much more tolerable. Because like she came from the past to make things, to fix things, but she just was horrible to everyone, and she wouldn't tell anyone what like the issue was. She just she was very insufferable in R.
Yes.
But like you can understand her, and I loved Wicked Lady. I may have did a very terrible cosplay of her once in high school.
There is cosplay and fan fiction that you have told me about that we are not seeing, but I really do have another question though.
Yeah.
Obviously it worked for you, but what was it like when you watched your second episode of Sailor Moon and it wasn't Crystal Clear Destiny? It was like the episode where
the Moon World episode. Oh no, the Chanel. Well, no, because I then watched it in order.
Okay.
And
wait, do you mean you watched the episode after Crystal Clear Destiny, or do you mean you went back to the beginning?
Oh no, I watched after. I went from Crystal Clear Destiny to the episodes after that, and eventually, I think I circled around and got to the beginning.
Sure, sure.
And yeah, no, I loved everything. I thought it, like, even the sillier episodes, and like I didn't, it was just so new and different for me. Like I'd never seen stories like this and characters like this really like geared that a teenage girl could like relate to, and just complex stories. Because I think a lot, like in American television, you have the sitcom, and it's like each day is each episode is a new adventure, but you have in anime you have these continuing arcs and like epic storylines and animation like that was just really unique to me. And
just to clarify,
yeah.
The episode after Crystal Clear Destiny is A Reluctant Princess, and that's the one where it's another weird one because that's the one where all their memories come back, or where her memory comes back. So it's another like very mythology episode. But the episode after that is the episode where
the Princess Training School.
No, it's actually Bad Hair Day, where Usagi might get a haircut. And she goes to the beauty salon, and there's a beauty salon monster. So we did go right back into a crazy episode.
I do love that monster, though.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. And the episodes after that, the Princess School and the ice skating episode, I thought they were all fun and delightful, and just it was great. Like again, it was just so unique to me. I don't think like I cared. I watched, just everything, and I just, soaked it all in. I do love the high mythology episodes, like these big episodes, like the one we were about to see are, are some of my favorite, though I have to say every time my friends and I do get together to like for Sailor Moon Slumber Party or just, hanging out, we will invariably watch episodes like, what's this name? The Rhett Butler episode.
Yes.
As one of my friends calls it, the fattest cat that ever came to Cat Town.
Well, first of all, if you like mythology-driven episodes and Wicked Lady, strap in. We're all going to have a real good time today.
Wait, hold on. We got to do our quick usual questions.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
We already know that you're pro Memoru, you're pro Miracle Romance. You saw it at its best. But what do you think about the other things that we often talk about on the show, like cookbook?
Oh well, no, I love it. I never thought about it, but I am all for cookbook. I think they would be adorable together. It's funny because now that like I'm watching it with those lenses, I was like, oh yeah, look at that.
Okay. And then I unless I miss it, I think we missed the biggest question, which is who's your favorite scout?
Oh gosh. I don't, I almost don't know precisely if I have like a favorite scout. I'm definitely kind of an Usagi. I can be pretty lazy and I love food. But actually I love Hotaru. I kind of identify with that like weirdo loner persona, but yeah, I love her storyline. I think she is just such an interesting character, and she has some pretty epic moments. Maybe not in these episodes, but in a few episodes after. But yeah, no, I think Hotaru in the like if you go for the outer senshi and yeah, Usagi, but I love them all. I never was like, that character's not great. I think they're all great.
Just like me. Well, Lindsay, I am excited to have you on the show. You are very enthusiastic, and that's what this episode demands, because things are about to get weird. But before we get into the episode, we have a little bit of Sailor business to get through. First of all, our Chibi-sode, as of this recording, our Chibi-sode about our hypothetical 2017 Sailor Moon reboot has gone up, and people are listening to it. We're getting some really great responses from listeners through email, through Twitter, already telling us what they would want. And so I think our next Chibi-sode, Jordan, should probably just be us reading and talking about these suggestions, because we're getting some really good stuff.
Ooh, that does
Okay.
sound like a good idea.
Like, people definitely want to know if we want to keep Ami as a cyborg, but we will talk about that when we get to it.
Funny you should say that, because in the manga, Hotaru is actually a cyborg.
What?
Really?
Yeah, in the explosion, she's injured so much that she's essentially a cyborg.
That's wild.
Her
Okay.
storyline is much more devastating in the manga, mainly because Tomoe is a lot darker in the manga, which always sounds crazy. But like when he's Professor Tomoe, he's full of like nuts. But when he's with Hotaru, he's sweet and he's gentle. But he's not that way in the manga, which makes it so much sadder because she gets, she's like really on her own. Like she her father's a monster.
Okay.
much like Naru. No.
Well, that's definitely something that I want to talk about. So please, like, keep on sending those in, because it's probably going to be probably shortly after this episode airs that we're going to do something with that. So get those in while you can. But here's the other piece of Sailor Business. I told Jordan before we started the show that I have a surprise for him.
Okay.
Jordan, would you like to know what your surprise is?
I mean, yes. Chris, I don't believe you. Oh, no. How dare you fucking say that? Oh, you fucking piece of shit.
I hate Sailor Mars.
Oh.
Wow.
I have a Jordan soundboard.
Who made this for you?
This was made for us by the Empathic Twitch on Twitter, who provided me with so many Jordan D. White sound clips that I cannot upload them all to the program we use.
Wow.
I can have a different set of sound clips for every episode for about the next month and a half.
Wow. I have to act sorry for being wrong about something. Oh. That sounds out of context, if you ask me.
Nope, it's all perfectly great. So, Jordan.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Yeah, I guess I'll see you when I see you, because I have this now.
Cartoons are dumb.
When baby Darian is born, you'll be all set.
It's going to be very good. It's going to be very, very good. But yes, the Jordan soundboard is here, everyone. And I gotta say, the Empathic Twitch did an amazing job. If you pop these things open as MP3s, it literally has each episode in the album field that each of these comes from, and it's all very, very good.
Right, so how many sound clips is it actually?
Let's see here. The first batch, which includes you saying, "Please tell me Ami is not on LinkedIn," which I don't remember quite where that comes from.
Me neither.
I think you guys were talking about like what kind of social media things you would be using,
Oh, sure,
like
sure.
like Facebook and Twitter.
What social media would each of them want to be on?
And Ami would be on LinkedIn. I'm one of those fans who may have listened to episodes more than a couple of times.
Nice.
So I memorize things for whatever reason. Or I'm like, oh, that's the episode where that happened.
I've got 46 Jordan sound clips to choose from.
Wow. That's impressive. And there probably hasn't been anyone that obsessed with my voice since me. So that's pretty awesome. Chris, I don't believe you.
It's going to be very good. But yeah, enough time wasted with all this setup. Let me scroll back to the beginning of the soundboard and let's talk about this episode.
Okay. Maxfield Stanton has that sweet, sweet gazillionaire money.
This week, we are watching Shadow of Destruction, The Messiah of Silence Awakens, episode 123 of Sailor Moon S. Jordan.
Yes.
You should be so happy that I'm even talking to you when I have this soundboard.
Get out of here. You can't get the actual information from the soundboard.
I mean, I have a wiki page. I could just do it.
Yeah, but you can't play the game.
That's true. That's true. What's the game, Jordan? Explain the game if we have any new listeners.
The game is... Oh, there's no new listeners! Go back to episode 1.
There might be.
All right. Chris, I don't believe you. New listeners, go back to episode 1. But to humor you for a moment, the game here is that in the original American dub, they gave all the episodes new names, and so Chris is going to try to guess what the original dub name of this episode was.
Which is very difficult because they're all terrible.
Oh, yeah.
This one...
So what's the real name?
The real name is Shadow of Destruction, the Messiah of Silence Awakens.
Okay. Here's my hint. It has to do with the same exact thing that's about, but imagine you were treating it as lightly as possible. Like it's really not that big of a deal.
It's a pretty bad title.
Is it like Wake Up, Hotaru?
You're so close.
Really close.
If Hotaru wakes up?
Imagine she was at a hotel.
Hotaru's Wake Up Call.
It's Wake Up Call.
Oh my god.
It's Wake Up Call.
Oh my god. I can't believe I got that one. Because I pretty much got that one.
What a boring title.
Yeah. This episode has the debut of a new villain. People are gonna start exploding soon. But yes, Chibius is gonna be sacrificed on an altar.
Yep.
Spoilers!
Wake up call. Wake up call.
Well, again, they didn't spoil any of that in the title. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Well, actually, the Japanese episode really doesn't give any spoilers.
I mean, it tells you the Messiah of Silence Awakens, but we've been building to that for a whole season, so it's not like that's a surprise.
Well, I mean, it could have easily been like Chibiusa gets her heart ripped out.
So we open at Mugen Academy, where we've been for the past, it feels like months. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Lindsay. We get a fucking super intense this week on Sailor Moon with the arms of the dead grabbing at Hotaru.
Crucified Hotaru.
We see Hotaru crucified on a cross.
Yep.
Zombie students. It's a horror. These next 2 episodes really have terrifying images.
Haruka gets fucking struck by lightning in this.
This episode is crazy. I think my notes for this episode have the most question marks of any notes I've ever had. So many of my notes end in question marks because I'm just like, what?
Yeah, this episode is bananas. I mean, I'll tell you right now, we don't have to wait for final thoughts. I fucking love these 2 episodes that we're gonna watch.
Oh, I'm so glad.
But they are bonkers.
Because you've sometimes not liked the super dramatic ones. Because I do like how you go for the really funny ones. But I love these episodes so much. So I'm really glad that you love these because they're amazing. And the 2 episodes after are equally intense. Maybe your next host will be in tears when she's recounting it.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
So yeah, we open at Mugen Academy. Shit's going down. The student body has been turned into zombies.
Oh, there is a helipad.
There is a helipad.
That was the thing we talked about last episode. I'm sorry I suggested there might not be a helipad. Of course there is.
How dare you?
Where are these kids' parents, guys?
You know what, Jordan?
Yeah. I have to act sorry for being wrong about something.
I can't look. I know that's going to get old eventually, but right now it's not for me anyway. Sorry, listeners.
You know what? There is sorrow in the wind.
Yeah. So this is how weird things get right off. We pull back from Mugen Academy, and we get a shot, an aerial shot of Tokyo. And then we go to Haruka and Mishiru's building and their rooftop Zen garden.
I was just about to say that. They have a Zen garden.
It's enormous.
You would think they would have a helipad.
Their helipad is hidden in their in their aquarium. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
I think it's the helipad is behind the Zen garden because, the helicopter lands and it messes up all the sand, and that's the impermanence that you look for in a Zen garden, right?
Well, they are waxing poetic. So, where else do you wax poetic except in Zen garden?
Then we get another aerial shot of Tokyo with some weird bubbles. And this is Chibiusa's dream sequence? Or she's just like thinking about Hotaru.
Yeah, this is where she's just thinking about Hotaru. Wait for the dream sequence.
She's thinking about her in the bathtub.
Yeah.
That's why there's bubbles.
Hey, bathtub. It's interesting you bring that up. Surely this is going to be like other episodes we had where we're just like, the water is going to be covering things so we're not staring at these naked characters.
Nope.
No. It's no.
But in Japan, they don't have the same kind of puritanical views as Americans have about the naked body.
I think puritanical is a little strong for me being like, could have done without it. Maybe throw some bubble bath in there.
Is Chibi vaping? What has she got in her mouth?
I don't know.
That's our next Chibi-sode, is Chibiusa. Is she vaping?
No, really, what has she got in her mouth?
Is the Luna P just a vapor egg?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an e-cigarette. It really is.
Oh, God, no.
It looks like one. So
she's from the future. It's accepted by then. So she's in the bathtub. We see way too much of her. It's very uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Usagi is crouching naked near her and showering.
Big Usa.
Well, yeah, that is how you do it in Japan. The bathtub isn't for actually bathing. You clean yourself in the shower that like Usagi is doing with and that stool. And the bathtub is, I'm not quite sure. I wish my roommate who lived in Japan was here right now because she could explain a little better. But that is how you do it in Japan. You actually clean yourself in like that little shower area. And then
you have a good soaking thing.
You do. It is actually how it's done. When I was in Japan, I saw that there. That was pretty common.
But we see
we see a lot of them.
We see a lot of Usagi, but also the other uncommon thing, besides the fact that she's naked, is that her hair is down. She's actually washing her hair.
Yes.
This is the first time in a long time that we've seen Usagi with her hair down, to the point where it's like, she looks weird.
It doesn't look like Usagi, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't look like Usagi. She looks like Mina.
Mm-hmm.
Except different bangs, but yeah.
So Chibi goes to bed, and
first Usagi has to slip and fall into the bathtub face first.
Well, yeah, we get some comedy. Also, Chibi doesn't have her hair up, so we see Chibi with her hair down too, which is again something we haven't seen in a really long time. But as soon as this scene, I love how weird it's like. I want people to imagine this being their first episode of Sailor Moon, because this tiny child goes, "Hey, I'm going to bed. I'm worried about Hotaru, but I'm going to try and keep my spirits up." And then this other girl, like this older girl, goes, and then turns around and sees two very serious looking cats who nod at her. And then she runs down the street in the middle of the night and goes, "Some shit's about to go down at Mugen Academy."
That's true. But what actually I really like is, especially with the bathtub scene, is like you see how much like Chibiusa and Usagi's relationship has grown. Like it's much more mature now and less fraught. And I like the moment, as weird as it is. It's a nice like beat of character development. And then just cats.
Very dour cats.
Who's so dour.
Yeah, well, I mean, this actually is a really interesting mark of progression, because we have another Chibiusa and Usagi bathing scene to compare it to. From like that's the first or second Chibiusa episode?
Oh, when
where she pops up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she pops up like a submarine in the bathtub.
Right.
So from there, Usagi starts running down the street, and we get like an overlay that we're back to the zombie students marching. Usagi is running and looking super focused. I love the idea that this could be your first episode. But then we cut to Hotaru, who is I guess the Messiah of Silence is the way to refer to her in this form. She's in her ruffled purple dress. She's got her black star on her throat, but she's having a bad time.
She needs she needs the heart. She needs the heart crystal.
She needs her inhaler.
But here's the thing. She keeps asking for a heart crystal, but the thing is she just doesn't need lots of them. She needs a specific one to awaken. She needs like the purest heart.
Is that true? Because that's new information then, right?
Well, I don't think they really correctly ever explain it, because she's just saying, she needs a pure heart.
Right.
But she needs a specific one to awaken. That they really don't explain it correctly, but I think it's clearer in the manga.
Okay.
But that's why she's always suffering. She needs a specific pure heart.
Yeah, because again, like I always talk about the fact that she's constantly going, I need more pure hearts. Give me pure hearts. And it's like, we've never seen you get one pure heart, dude.
I think she just says pure heart. I don't think she says, I would have to look back, but I think she only says heart. And I think it really only means a specific heart. So that's what I always remembered. And that's what I always took from it.
I am occasionally bad at reading subtext. I'll cop to that pretty readily. I don't think I could miss the subtext of Chibiusa running around naked and then cutting to Hotaru clutching her chest and going, I need Chibiusa's heart.
Heavy breathing.
Yeah.
Shaking.
Now, Hotaru's not alone in the room.
Wait,
we have Professor Tomoe.
Mr. Cookbook is saying he's not good at reading subtext? Anyway.
Oh no, Jordan, that's just text.
Okay, right.
That's just hard, but you can't.
It's canon.
Yeah, it's canon, Jordan.
Canon.
Chris, I don't believe you. Oh, I don't believe you. That's two of us. Oh, you fucking piece of shit.
No, I didn't.
I like that one. Except
That's got a little bit of me in it.
It's too bad you start yelling at the end of it, but because that's a pretty good one. How dare you fucking say that? Oh, sorry.
How about that one?
That's a good one.
That one's good.
So, Chris was saying that she's not alone in the room. Correct.
There's Professor Tomoe.
Correct.
And then there's the fifth question mark and final question mark member of the Witches Five.
Cyprine.
And this is Cyprine. Yeah.
She is wearing the dumbest glasses in the universe.
She has the dumbest glasses. I fucking love it.
Would you wear those?
She's on some Spider Jerusalem shit with these.
Yeah, it's like one, I don't even know how to describe it. One like John Lennon lens, perfectly round.
The circle.
And then the other one though is like...
I think actually they are supposed to be the same. No, wait.
No.
They are very different.
The other one's a
one side
triangle or something. It's super weird.
One side's completely round. The other side is the Squirtle Squad.
They are weird glasses.
She also has a big braided side pony.
What color is her hair?
With a single odongo. Oh, she has blue hair and red earrings and blue eyes.
Okay.
And apparently no clothes under that lab coat.
Oh, no.
Does
never.
not look like it. Definitely. I mean, honestly, it looks about like the rest of the sexy grad students that we've seen.
Yeah, now that was the other thing. Like in the manga, I don't think they actually were like regular humans who were corrupted. If I recall, they were just other... they kind of were like the Spectre sisters and like the four generals. They like appeared for one episode before they died, which happens to some the Witches Five as opposed to others. But I think they actually they were just they all came from this same dimension where all of these other people are coming from that are trying to invade Earth. But I could be wrong, but I think that's how it was.
Well, no, I think because we've established that they have like real names too. So
yeah, but I mean, like they could just get those.
Yeah, I think those are just it's like Maxfield Stanton. It's not his real name. It's his dumb name. But
Maxfield Stanton has that sweet gazillionaire money.
It's his alias. Like, so I think they just take on human aliases. Though I really do like this idea that they were just like grad students who Tomoe corrupted. It's a fun idea.
So, speaking of me acting sorry because I was wrong about something, Chris, I gave you shit over calling Kaori Knight a vampire, a Dracula.
Dracula, yeah.
Apparently,
Oh, wait, are you talking about Kill Knight? Because I'm not like her. She sucks, but I am not like her at all, and I hate her.
that is how Supreme feels, yes. But I implied that she was not a vampire, and she decided she really wanted to prove me wrong. So she's in this episode showing up, dangling upside down from the ceiling.
Dressed all in black.
All in black.
White skin, red hair.
She did not like that I did not get she was going for a vampire thing.
Yeah, you biffed that one, buddy.
Wow.
And the hilarious thing is, like, Sabrina's just talking so much shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Kayla Knight is, like, hanging upside down in the pipes at the roof of the underground. And we see Sabrina, and she's got this big, like, colon D face, which she's like in trouble with. And then she looks, it's not like she's right behind me. She looks directly at Kayla Knight and is like, what's up? And Kayla Knight gets so mad that she disapparates.
Yeah.
And then crushes, like, metal or stone.
Yeah. She smashes through a pipe or something, yeah.
It's very good.
But that gives Kaori the idea. Okay, that girl's going to get a quantity of pure hearts, but I'm going to get quality of pure hearts. I'm going to go after that one annoying girl that Hotaru keeps hanging out with.
And she's right. She's right. She gets it right.
Chris, I have a pure heart. Probably has an artifact in it. It's accurate.
She's going after Jordan's pure
It's
heart,
true.
I think.
It's true. She should. I probably have the Liberty Bell inside my heart.
Cut that one out, please, for the next round. So yes, Kill Knight is gonna go get Chibiusa's pure heart and feed it to Hotaru, because it's the purest heart of all. Which means, when I asked if Usagi had the purest heart of all,
No.
that I was very close.
No, you said Usagi was the Messiah.
No, I mean, I might have said that as well, but I definitely said Usagi has my theory was that Usagi has the purest heart of all, and so I was very close.
You were
Also,
30
but we
episodes
don't
ago.
know that it's because it's the purest heart of all. It could just be because she's in love with her.
No, she does say, "I'm going to go get the purest heart,
Yeah, but
the best pure heart there
these
is,"
guys are
is
wrong
what she
about a lot of
says.
stuff. Don't worry about it.
You can't just say, yeah. The text is just wrong about a lot.
They
of
say
stuff.
a lot of things and they're wrong a lot.
Yeah, well, so do we on this very show.
So anyway, now we cut to a dream.
Oh my
Now
god.
we're up in the fucking dream sequence, and Jordan.
Yes.
Lindsay, have you recently watched the Cloverway version of this episode?
Oh god, no! I tried, and I can't watch the Cloverwave dub of it. It's so bad. I really, really hate Usagi's voice actress, which I don't like Linda Valentine, and I feel bad because I have friends who have met her, and they say she's like the nicest person. But I hate the affected voice that she gives her.
She's my least favorite of the original three.
Yeah, Terry Hawks is great, and will forever have a love for the Deke dub because it is it meant falling in love with Sailor Moon meant so much to me, and even as bonkers as things got with the Deke dub, I still have a love for it, and I think Terry Hawks was a great Sailor Moon.
Jordan, did you watch the Cloverway dub from before we did this episode?
So I didn't, but because you mentioned it, I'm literally looking at it right now.
Do they show Hotaru crucified on a straight up Jesus cross in the American version of this episode?
Well, I'm gonna do some research on this because the video I have does have that, but again, the video I have has everything restored, so that's why the video I have had Uranus's butt that one time and all that stuff. So, but there's a website called Sailor Moon Uncensored, where they document in crazy detail, to the second, everything that gets cut. So I'm gonna take a quick look at it.
Okay.
They did that actually. There was an Escaflowne uncensored because when they had it on the WB, they like cut it to hell, and that was interesting.
Yeah, here we go. 14 seconds were cut. The infamous scene of Hotaru on the cross during Chibi-Yusa's dream is hacked to death. Actually, it was kept more intact than I thought it would. Basically, there was 14-second chunk where we could actually tell that she was on a cross, and they cut that 14-second segment. All the rest was kept. I'm surprised they even kept the concept of her getting grabbed by the hands of death, as I like to call them.
Okay, so they only show the close-up of Hotaru on the cross getting grabbed by the zombie hands
And being dragged away.
I watched this tonight while my wife and I were eating dinner, and I she was looking at her phone or something, and I was like, holy shit, look at the television. Fucking Sailor Saturn is currently being crucified.
Yes. That is, I'm not surprised to hear that they cut it. That being said, because I'm on this page, and again, it's a great site. If you want to know the details of what they've cut and what they didn't, it's smuncensored.com. Remember a few moments ago when we saw full frontal nudity of Chibi-Yusa?
Uh-huh.
They did not cut that.
Weird.
They did not cut that at all.
I mean, look, we if you don't have like the show in front of you, it's just. I mean, it's almost like it's like Ken dolls. You know, there's like no they're just like blocks of skin color.
Sure, it's still unusual to see a naked 8-year-old cartoon.
Made it onto television.
Yeah.
Considering how much they cut out of the Deke version.
Yeah, the Deke version, they would add like extra water in scenes. They'd like, anyway.
Or they would add like a nightshirt or something.
All that stuff, yeah. Anyway, good to know.
This nightmare sequence, I remember when I first saw it, I was like, what is going on? It's truly terrifying, especially for like a ostensibly kids show.
Oh, it's very scary. It's literally Hotaru on a cross with like zombie hands grabbing her. It's like, this would be scary on like fucking Twin Peaks.
Actually, both of these episodes have some really terrifying imagery. Most of my notes consist of, this is creepy. This is very, very creepy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So Hotaru, or Chibi-Yusa wakes up, and then we see the Mugen Academy students marching again. And then again, imagine this is the first episode. You've seen a vampire lady, you've seen a girl getting crucified, people talking about feeding people hearts.
Yeah.
So all the zombie students walk into Jordan, it looks like maybe some crystals are involved in this. There's definitely a weird statue.
There's always crystals involved in fucking Sailor Moon, but not that kind of crystals. No, those are just stained glass windows.
Is that what those are supposed to? Okay. Well, which is weird, because we certainly don't see that on the exterior shot of Mugen Academy, which we have seen several of.
Now, but here's my question, because again, this part has a lot of like, wait, what questions? Why the fuck did it take them so long to do this? They're trying to get hearts from people, and they have a school full of thousands of children. And they just go, you know what? Why don't we just take their hearts? Hey, that's a good idea. And remember last episode where we did this elaborate shit with a test and computers? That was a fucking waste of time. Guys, just walk in and give us your hearts. Cool?
Well, this is it's their end game.
I guess. Yeah, I guess it is. But why? But they just do the end game. What? I don't understand what changed other than that they kept failing. But it was like, just do this. Just do this from the beginning.
It's like when UDeal creates that program that'll like identify who has the talismans. It's like, why didn't you do that sooner?
Right.
Because she was at her end game.
This is another Power Rangers move where it's like, why didn't you just send a giant fucking monster instead of a small monster?
Jake, I'll let you handle it. If you want to get in on that one. We also have Supreme pulling some like true glorious Godfrey shit, like shouting, students of Mugen Academy, now is the time to give your pure hearts to the Deathbusters, which is so great. I love this.
Now, there's a thing that I didn't notice on first viewing, but I'll call it out because otherwise it won't, I mean, just so it makes more sense. There's a giant fucking statue, which they never say, hey, that statue is how we're doing this, but spoiler, that statue is how they're doing this.
Well, it has a black star on the neck in the same place that Hotaru does.
Yeah, yes, it does.
I mean, like, I think it's a statue of someone we're going to meet in a minute. But yes, they're doing it through the statue. We also get to see Supreme in her costume for the first time in this scene. She looks, and Pitlul, who we'll see in a minute, look fucking great.
It's
They're
great.
awesome.
I have friends who did a cosplay of this, and it's just
nice.
gorgeous.
Are they twins?
No, they're just friends. But yeah, no, I love their design. I love all of the Witches 5. They're some of my favorite characters.
There's some very good Witches 5 cosplay out there, including Valui, who, scientifically speaking, looks like a sexy chandelier. Which we determined through...
It's not science.
Through many people voted.
Not that many.
The sample size was good.
It's still not science. Anyway, look, here's part 2 of my what the fuck of this scene. So the Sailor Scouts, and by Sailor Scouts I mean in their civilian identities, have all snuck in with the zombie students. An alarm goes off? I don't fucking know. Everything turns red, and they get captured in a bubble and taken up. At which point I immediately went, wait, what? Why didn't you fucking take their hearts too? Just go, oh, cool, take their hearts too. Now the scouts are dead. Awesome. The end.
Oh, but that would be no fun. I mean,
it would be plenty fun for the forces of evil.
No, because you're gonna see in a minute, Supreme is like pulling some true like Bond villain like moves on the scouts.
And she's going to fail like a Bond villain.
Well, yeah, but I think the fight scene in this episode is one of the best.
Well, if there's any villains out there listening, my advice to you is just kill the good guys when you have the easy opportunity.
Take some Scott Evil advice.
Yes.
I have a gun in my room. We'll shoot it together. It'll be fun.
Right. They are literally yanking out hearts by the roomful, and they just kind of go, oh, those 5 girls, and it's not like they don't know they're the Sailor Scouts. She literally brings them upstairs and goes, I know you're the Sailor Scouts. So she could have just yanked out all their hearts, won forever, but no.
So she brings them upstairs to her office. And I want to do a little quick fashion corner.
Okay.
Because we got some super cute outfits going on. Especially Lita / Makoto. We have seen similar outfits to this before, but I don't think we've seen this one. It's the two-tone green like turtleneck over the dress with the leggings.
Oh, I love it. I would wear that.
Minako has that cool jean jacket and like some earth tone like top and skirt. Rei is like dressed comfy, like this is clearly like Rei's stealth gear. And Ami is dressed like Murder She Wrote.
Yes.
Ami is
except for
like
the lime green sweater.
She has a lime green cardigan over a blue, like there's a
sky
bib
blue. Sky blue.
Sky blue. She looks like she's about to just hand a Werther's original to Supreme.
And Usagi's wearing a cute outfit.
Oh
yes.
Yeah, Usagi's is also really cute. She's got kind of a loose sweater with like a big, like a chunky neck, and a skirt, like a pleated skirt. It's very good. Some very cute stuff.
What's weird about this episode to me is there's a lot in this episode that just doesn't ever get explained.
Uh-huh.
Well, we know why. We have to save the time for a full transformation sequence.
Oh, God. Oh, God. All right, we'll get to that in a moment.
Oh, I love it. I love it. By the way.
You fucking would. All right, we'll get to that in a second.
Because I like the show, Jordan.
I love the show. I love the show.
Okay. Sure
I
you
want
do.
the show to be its best self. Anyway,
I hate Sailor Mars.
motherfucker.
Oh, no.
Can we talk about Uranus and Neptune again? Why are they not zombies?
I mean, that's an excellent question.
Well, I think that like they're with other students, so like she already got like the first wave of like hearts, and they were like kind of chilling out with the second wave that hasn't been,
But everybody was
Dehydrated.
marching into the school like a zombie.
Shh, don't ask questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of things that Duncan explained. Okay, so basically she goes, yeah, I know you're the Sailor Scouts, just so you know. And then
And I love
Sailor
this because
Scouts.
she goes, "Hey, you're the Sailor Scouts," and the Scouts are like, "We will now confirm that theory that you have. Thank you."
Yes. It's the longest transformation sequence in the history of the show.
It's pretty long.
I love it.
It's half the first act.
I do like their speeches, though.
Yeah, that's what makes it great because they give speeches and we get everybody's catchphrase, and we have not gotten everybody's catchphrase in a long ass time. I have not heard "douse yourself in water and repent." I have not heard "in the name of Mars I will chastise you" for a long time.
So here's how it goes. Well, we'll do. I mean, you're right because it's an important part of the plot. Let's do the walkthrough because that's what people are listening for. They don't want to miss part of the show. So first,
so they put their
Venus has
hands-
Venus star power. Okay.
Venus star power.
And she grabs her wand.
Uh-huh.
Then
Her nails get painted with stars, and she grabs her wand.
Yes. Then Mercury star power and her nails, and she grabs her wand. And
They're
then
blue though. Venus's were orange. Ami's
Mars
are blue.
star power, and she gets her Mars wand.
They're red. Her nails are red.
Jupiter star power, and she grabs
Green.
her wand.
Yes.
And then, oh, what's this? It's a heart-shaped brooch of some sort, and it opens. There's a crystal inside. Moon cosmic power. Hand goes over it. Lots of sparkles. And then they all say makeup in unison. So what I think is funny about that is
Fucking
that
love it. Fucking
Venus
love it.
has to wait like 10 minutes to say makeup. She's like, Venus star power!
She has excellent breast support.
And then eventually she says makeup.
Yes.
Then they all
Cut
transform.
that one out for the soundboard, please.
And so then they all transform. And yes, they do all give little speeches. Although, wait, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Venus says, with love and beauty, I will save this planet. Ami says,
right.
douse yourself in water and repent. We get in the name of Mars, I will chastise you. We get my favorite, which is Jupiter saying, I'm going to fill you so full of regret, it'll leave you numb, which is like fucking rad.
That's intense. And it shows each of their full transformations. It doesn't just cut a little piece of it. It shows the full thing for each of them, one at a time.
It's like, but I love this because this is the shit getting real.
Endgame. It's the endgame.
Yeah. The game is about to change, Jordan D. White. Like, we're about to meet a new friend in a minute.
So then Sailor Moon finally transforms. She doesn't have a speech yet.
Well, she does. She says the thing about the sailor team.
I don't fucking know. It's a long transformation.
It is long, but it actually pays off, I think. Even though I do loathe the full transformation sequence, I think this one pays off.
So they're done. They're done. 10 minutes later, they're done. They wake up Supreme. They start shooting at her. Mars begins with a burning mandala, and she shoots fire at her.
It is so weird to me that you are like mad that you're seeing transformation sequences on Sailor Moon.
Because it's the longest one. Because again, it's a big, like, well, to me, the fact that it's a big moment is the opposite of when I want to see a transformation. I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Oh, I'll find out someday. Okay, they're gonna do they're gonna do the
Jordan,
rest.
I mean this with like all due respect and friendship and love. It's coming from my heart. That's fucking stupid.
Fine, man.
Like,
fine.
The transformation sequences are awesome. Like, I love the transformation sequences are frequently the best animated part of the show, and they look great. Like, especially Moon Cosmic Power. Like,
Yeah, it's terrific, man.
yeah,
But I've seen it a lot.
yeah. Well, again, this is meant to be everyone's first episode.
No, I would not recommend
I
this
would
as a
say
first episode
start
at
here.
all.
Start here.
No.
If you've never seen an episode of Sailor Moon, this is the one to watch.
No!
Not at all true. So, she shoots burning mandala at her. Does that kill her?
Yes.
No.
So it's time for Sailor Business Says.
No, it does not kill her. What happens instead? Sailor Mars gets fucking slammed.
Yeah.
Spring doesn't give a fuck.
It does shatter the glass in the office, which is
Yes.
pretty cool.
Then a blue light and a red light appear, and they slam the shit out of Sailor Mars into a wall.
I hate Sailor Mars.
Yes, well, it wasn't me, but I mean, it could have been. No, ridiculous. So then Venus goes, well, I can do this with my Love Me chain, obviously. She wraps her Love Me chain around her, and Supreme goes, oh, you think you've caught me, do you? And then all of a sudden, with no fucking explanation, there is a random twin.
Prepare for trouble and make it double.
Well, first, Venus gets hit with a fucking wrecking ball.
Yes.
That again, like, knocks her out of the frame so fast. It's brutal. It looks great.
So, remember how Supreme was blue? Well, all of a sudden, an exact replica, except swapped left to right, and everything that was blue is now red, shows up, and she goes, hey, oh geez, how do you pronounce this? Tilol?
Patul?
Tilol?
Hey, hold on.
Is the P silent?
Patura.
Patil.
Great. Oh, apparently in the Cloverway dub, they call her Patorol.
Well, that's the, reading the katakana and, interchanging the R's with the L's.
In the Tokyo Pop manga, get ready for this,
Oh, no.
Already.
they call her Petite Roll.
Petite roll? Are you kidding me?
Petite Roll.
I can't believe Bunny fought Petite Roll.
Exactly. Bunny fought Petite Roll in the original.
Oh, wait. My roommate is saying that is how you would write petite roll in katakana.
That's ridiculous and amazing.
She lived in Japan, so she knows these things.
That's amazing.
But apparently it is a mineral, petilolite.
Ah, there you go.
Is it really?
That's what WikiMoon says, and WikiMoon wouldn't lie.
Wikiman wouldn't lie about rocks.
Rocks
Do you
and
think-
minerals.
Do we know anybody who's gotten like a degree in geology because they were really into Sailor Moon? Because I would love to hear that story.
That would be so cool.
So anyway, look, point being, she has a fucking random twin. What?
Yeah, she has previously said, this is my favorite part of this, she has previously said, I am the last and greatest of the Witches 5.
Well, they count themselves as one entity.
Because then when she introduces her, she says, we are the same, one mind, one body, except they literally have two bodies.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of lore with twins that say they're, like one soul that has been divided.
Right,
So-
into two bodies.
Now, does your twin brother have like the opposite hair of you and wears like the opposite color, like the complementary color?
No, we look very different to the point where there was several unfortunate incidences where in high school they thought we were boyfriend and girlfriend and not twins, because we like if we're standing next to each other, you can see a familial resemblance, but he looks very much like my dad. And he has dark hair, and I have a lot of red hair.
Gotcha.
And yeah, because we had lockers next to each other, we were always seen next to each other. And it's like, oh yeah, your boyfriend. I'm like, what boyfriend? It's like that guy you're always with, the one with the glasses. That's my brother. It was horrifying.
Yes.
So
Horrifying.
you said you have a lot of red hair. So you're the petite role of the situation.
Probably the Naru of the story.
Aww.
So yeah, you called it, Lindsay, because they get a full ass Team Rocket intro speech. And then in another moment, like in one of the best moments in the episode / the show, Sailor Jupiter stands up and goes, I don't give a fuck.
One person, two, all the same.
They get this whole thing like, yeah, we're unstoppable, like one body, one soul. And Jupiter's like, eat some lightning.
But that doesn't work because they have these like shepherd staffs that like snag powers and shoot them back.
Yeah, it's pretty. They're hardcore. They're formidable, which showing that these guys who are like the lower henchmen are kicking the Senshi's ass. What's to come? How are they going to defeat the big bads?
Well, I mean, they're pretty high up there,
Yeah, but I mean, like they can't touch them. Like matching power for power.
You know, I called them shepherd staffs, but I guess they're also kind of like magic lacrosse sticks.
Well, they're actually just like the big magic wand that Mehmet used to do Charmbuster.
Oh yeah. They're similar to that.
Like this is the Witch's 5 like magic wand is what it is.
But it's interesting to me because they throw like balls, like magic balls out of them.
Yeah, they do kind of lacrosse it a little bit. But yeah, it's the classic setup of the villains who turn the heroes' powers back against them. And that is how we lead into our act break.
Cartoons are dumb.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was classic.
Jordan,
Yes.
how is this show and its sister podcast, Xena Warrior Business, how are they supported?
They are supported by listeners like you. Well, not you, Chris, but the person who is listening who is not you.
Like me.
Like you, for example. Because,
Except I haven't actually given you any money yet.
well, people like you, though, who are not you.
I'll tell you who else hasn't given us any money is nobody in the past week.
Well, that's really cheap of you. I did not just say that. I did
That
not
was
just say that.
That was me. I just happened to have that loaded up.
That is not right.
And honestly,
I didn't ever tell them where they can go to do it, though.
okay, go ahead.
All you have to do is go to patreon.com/sailorbusiness. And that supports both Sailor Business and Xena Warrior Business. It's a monthly donation, gift, whatever you want to call it. And if you support it all, you get access to the Patreon page. If you, we put up cut outtakes. When was the last one we put up? We put up one pretty recently, right?
Yeah, we have one for May and June, so July and August should be coming up pretty soon as far as the blooper reels go, and those are always fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can head over to patreon.com/sailorbusiness and chip in as little as $1 a month or as much as you want to give.
Maxfield Stanton has that sweet gazillionaire money.
And you can really help support the show. And honestly, like, I joked about not having any new patrons, but we did just record our last episode 4 days ago.
Yes.
So it's fine. But yeah.
Do you guys ever post Xena Warrior Business outtakes?
Oh, Allie should have a bunch, but I don't think we've made a blooper reel yet.
Oh, that will definitely draw fans.
Right. Well, the
Yes.
thing is, I'm wondering, because she edits that. Does she actually cut anything dirty out of that podcast?
Well, I mean, like the Xena Business recording sessions tend to go pretty long.
Okay.
So she cuts out a lot, but I don't know how much of it is just me heavy sighing a lot.
And probably you actually doing the Xena Warrior call.
Yeah, I do it constantly. Like whenever I'm not talking, I'm just ululating on that show.
Wonderful.
I don't know why she doesn't leave it in. But yeah, Jordan, you said in the absence of new patrons to thank, and hey, thanks to all our existing patrons, by the way. You guys are awesome.
You make it possible.
Yeah. Why don't we do some Twitter questions?
That sounds like a great idea. Here's one from Noah Chevalier, who asks, if Chibi Moon's dad is Mamoru Chiba, is her name Chibi Chiba?
Yes.
Now, in real life, the answer is no, right? Because she says her name is Usagi Tsukino.
Well, it's Usagi Small Lady Serenity.
Yeah.
Chiba.
Okay. So her name can be Chiba.
Well, wouldn't her family name come first? So she'd be Chiba Chibiusa Small Lady Serenity?
Chibiusa is a nickname. She would be Chiba Usagi.
Do they have...
Is Chibiusa short for Chiba Usagi?
Yes, it's Little Usagi.
No. He's saying
Chiba Usagi.
Oh, no.
No, he's saying maybe her name is Chiba Usagi, and then people went, that's close to Chiba Usagi. That's funny.
But you would think that maybe because, her mom is eternal god queen of the universe, maybe Mamo-chan would take Usagi's.
Oh, I want to see that. Where they're getting married and he's like, no, you still have to take my name. And she's like, I am the eternal queen of everything.
And she's like, you are banished to eternal sleep forever.
Like Italian. No. But no, in all reality, I mean, Usagi would definitely want to take Mamo-chan's name.
Yeah, she'd want to.
Yeah, but I kind of see it as, they take Tsukino as the last name.
Do people in Japan have middle names, or no, they don't?
I don't think they have middle names.
They just have two names.
No, my roommate is shaking her head no.
Okay. So yeah, her name is probably Chiba Usagi.
On the subject of the name Usagi Small Lady Serenity, to possibly Chiba, do you know what Ray Fiennes' full name is?
Let's hear it.
Oh, I know one of his middle names.
It is the most British name I've ever heard.
I can't wait.
Rafe Nathaniel Twistleton Wickham Fiennes. And
Wow.
And Twistleton Wickham Fiennes are triple hyphenated.
Whoa! So his last name is Twistleton Wickham Fiennes.
Yes.
Wow.
All right, next question.
Next question from Gabe Ayala. Which sailor attack would you like most in live action?
Like, which one would I like to see, or which one would I like to have done on me? Because it would be bubble spray. I bet it feels great on a hot day.
You'd be so confused, Chris.
I would just be like, yes, fuck me up with these scrubbing bubbles. I feel refreshed and exfoliated.
I think probably would you like to see?
I would really like to see a high quality live action version of Moon Spiral Heart Attack where a giant stone heart just fucking wrecking balls into somebody's face.
That would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. He says his vote is Love Me Chain, which is pretty cool.
Love Me Chain is pretty cool. What is it? What is Coconut Cyclone? Is the one we found out about that Jupiter has?
Hurricane Coconut Cyclone.
Nice.
Yes. Hell yes.
Oh, if you think that's good, I won't spoil it for you. But one of the Starlights has a attack name that, oh boy,
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's so fucking weird.
I know what you're talking about. Chris, I'm really shocked that you didn't say Dead Scream.
No, Dead Scream is perfect as it is. Legit though, Jupiter Thunder Dragon.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
That's some Overwatch shit. Sounds like dope.
Oh, Ginny Odo points out, wait a second, Usagi doesn't like thunder and lightning in episode 64, so why isn't she freaking out every time Jupiter does an attack?
I mean, we don't see her not freaking out. In fact, we pretty frequently see Sailor Moon freaking out during people's attacks all the time.
So you think every time Jupiter does an attack, she's cowering in the corner?
Well, I mean, I guess you can infer that because she knows it's coming, it's not as terrifying.
That's a good point. That's a good point. She could brace herself because she hears her start yelling. And she sees the little antenna come up. Brandon House asks, do you think Rei is mean to Usagi because she's a quarter monster and subconsciously senses that Usagi could destroy her?
She could destroy a quarter of her.
I think a quarter of me getting destroyed, I'm probably going to die.
You never know.
That lizard brain we all have.
Yeah, yes. I think it's a fair assessment. Rauersdauer asks, or someone from space who sets up a kingdom on Earth constructed out of crystal, how is Sailor Moon different from this guy? And then a picture. I put the link in for you. You can see.
Okay. That's a Space Godzilla.
That is Space Godzilla, yes. If you're not familiar with Space Godzilla, imagine Godzilla, but with giant crystals growing out of his body. Like like Doomsday style almost.
How do I not have crystals aren't real on the soundboard?
I don't know, man.
This is shocking. I have cartoons are dumb. I have...
Do you have children or idiots? I mean,
I have Devin saying that's one of the downsides of being married to Jordan D. White.
Oh,
no.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I didn't put that one in there.
Okay. So I have not. My brother is a huge Godzilla fan, so I only know about Godzilla stuff through him, and I don't really know much about Space Godzilla. I'm assuming he's an evil despot, and Sailor Moon only wants what's best for us.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true.
Yes, she is a loving god queen.
She's a benevolent dictator.
Yeah, that's the word.
So that's the main difference. Let's see what else we got. Sailor Saturn asks, favorite villain / monster from each season that you've covered so far. So that's only 3.
I mean, favorite villain from season 1. I do love Beryl, just like in concept and execution. Like of the 4 kings, I'm a Jedi man, as you know.
Yeah, if we're talking about... Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, no. I was just actually, I kind of have to go with, evil tuxedo mask Prince Endymion.
Oh.
I always, that arc was very fascinating for me. And especially in the, final episode where he is, like completely like stone cold and beats the hell out of her.
When he turns into Angelus, yeah, that's a good part.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, like, if we're talking about like villain, not monsters, it's definitely Jedi, Birdie, and Mehmet.
Oh, I was trying to think who I would choose from R. Probably Wicked Lady.
Oh, well, Wicked Lady, yeah. I was gonna say Catsy, but Wicked Lady is very good.
Yeah, Catsy is definitely my favorite of the Spectre.
Well, hang on. So far you've said Endymion, Wicked Lady. I'm guessing you're going to say Messiah of Silence?
No, actually, it's Tomoe. I love Tomoe so much, but it does make sense because, he also is a good person who is possessed by evil.
That he is.
Yeah, I apparently do have a theme.
Chris, who do you like from 3?
From this season?
Yeah.
I mean, I really liked Eugil a lot.
Really? Better than Mehmet?
I mean, Mehmet's really good, but like, I mean, those would be my top 2.
Eugil probably has some of the most memorable moments, especially when she it looks like she's playing on the organ and it's just the boombox.
Forgot about that.
Oh, she has some truly choice moments which make her very memorable.
Eugil has a fucking giant rifle that blows people's hearts out the back of their chest. Aside from, like, if we're going like with Monsters of the Week,
yeah, I feel like I'm not going to remember them all.
Sexy Board Games was good. Sexy Race Car was really good.
I mean, we really remember Boxy well.
we always talk about Boxy.
I know you really liked Avocadora.
Avocadora in season 2 is very good.
Yeah, I feel like I don't remember them well enough.
Well, Rhett Butler's cat form.
The Zoisite with the cat armor, or with the rat armor, is great.
That was pretty funny.
That whole episode is a treasure unto the world.
I'm looking. Doorknobder is a good diamond. Toten, I love Toten.
Who's Toten?
She's the sexy tram car.
Right.
Yeah.
Sexy street car.
What was the race car girl?
The race car was Steering.
And what was the scarf?
Scar was the name of the scarf monster, who was also extremely good.
Yeah, these are tough. I guess I'd go with Steering.
Yeah, there have been so many good ones in S. Like, so many just ridiculous fucking monsters.
Oh, so I'm looking at the droids right now. Furaiki is the one who has the big drum that she pounds,
right.
And the red and blue eyeshadow, which is pretty awesome.
She's pretty annoying. Oh, but you had the Ronda, the wrestler.
Yes,
who just
Dumble.
Yes,
that's going to be Chris's favorite for sure.
and we I really did like the hair salon monster in the first season too, that we already talked about.
And I also liked in the ice skating episode the 2 skaters. I liked when they transformed into villains.
Atsugesho was the makeup monster or droid who
when she
had
lost
to draw
her
her
makeup
face
and she
Yes,
that was really good.
Yeah.
That was pretty terrific. Oh, there's a lot of good monsters in this fucking show. There really are.
Almost every Daimon is great in its own way. Like, the only one that I remember really, really hating was Tyen, who was the tire monster, who was the sexy motorcycle, who was 2 sexy motorcycles.
That was weird, man.
Yeah, did not like her.
And the Cardians were weird too. I didn't love them. They're okay.
They're mostly forgettable, in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. It's too hard to pick Monster of the Week. I would have to work really hard, but that's a good one. Let's see. Let's do one more.
One more.
Has anyone, Christian LeBlanc wants to know, has anyone come up with a good name for shipping Moon and Mars yet?
Curiosity.
That's a joke, right?
Well, that's the name of the Mars rover?
No, I get it.
Oh.
Well, what does that have to do?
But I
That
think
would
it
be
could also
Earth
be like-
and Mars.
It could also be like, it's...
No, it can't be Earth and Mars because that would be
She's Earth's moon.
Mamoru and Ray.
Yeah.
Red Rabbit.
Oh, Red Rabbit's not too bad.
Okay. All right. Red Rabbit it is.
That was actually the name of my second car. It was a
Really?
lemon. It was. Oh yeah, I had a.
Was it a Volkswagen Rabbit?
It was a Volkswagen Rabbit. It was red.
Nice.
Yes, but that was a lemon and it died. Now I have a black Honda and I call it Lady Hawk.
My car's name is Luna because it's gray.
My car's name is Toyota Camry because I'm an adult.
Yeah, what are you doing watching this show?
Well, I'm having serious discussions. Let's get back to the show.
Okay, let's do it. And I think that is S for shit's getting real.
For real. All right, so when we last left off, it seems like a million years ago.
Chris,
yes.
guess what Chibiusa is doing?
Standing out in front of the Tomoe household for
Yes.
another 6 hours.
Yes. That is what she did for the entirety of last episode, and she's back at it again.
Okay, you know that scene in The Dark Knight Returns where Carrie Kelly is out at the dump helping Batman fight the mutant leader, and it cuts back to her house, and you see like her parents, but you never see her parents. You just see like the smoke from them getting high, and they're talking about something, and like one of them goes like, "Hey, didn't we have a kid? Is that what Ikuko and Kenji are up to for this whole fucking show, where their kids are just leaving the house in the middle of the night? Chibius is a tiny child."
Middle of the night.
To be fair, we saw hordes of high schoolers walking into Mugen Academy, and it's like no parents are calling the police. It's like, hey, my kid's not there. It's like, really? We have another 100 parents who said the same thing.
Oh, next episode, I'll have plenty to say about the terrible municipal response that Tokyo has. But let's talk for now about Chibi. So Chibi has just decided again, hey, I know that Hotaru used to live in this house, and I know that I've been in this house, and it's empty, and she's not in this fucking house. But I'm just gonna go there again and stare at it.
She's doing some detective work.
She's a lousy detective, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't want to allow the show to say, yeah, but she's right because stuff happens. No, stuff happens because that's where she happened to go. There's no reason for her to go to this house.
You have to think this is like Kaelanite's best day ever, because Kaelanite's just like, oh hey, like I was gonna go look for that pure heart, and it's all literally on my doorstep.
Well, except she doesn't live there anymore. But yes, other than that,
She's inside. She's hanging out.
I think she's there because she's looking for her.
I'm more impressed that one of the Senshi transformed in like full like outside and was actually seen by somebody.
Oh yeah. Chibi just blows her secret identity.
Yeah, she doesn't hide, like a telephone booth or like behind some shrubbery.
Telephone booth. Oh, wonderful. Have we ever seen the Sailor Scouts transform in a telephone booth? That would be amazing. Just like they get into a telephone booth and all of a sudden the booth lights up, bright lights come streaming out every window. People are like, okay, that's interesting.
Bubbles, flames, lightning.
So yeah, she transforms in full view. Carrie goes, oh, so she's a Sailor Scout too. Huh.
I mean,
All right.
you think Kaelanite's there, like, waiting for Chibiusa. I think, like, we know that the house is connected to the underground laboratory underneath Mugen Academy. I think that's just how she goes to work.
Yeah, see, I guess the reason I don't think that is because we know that it was connected, but I'm assuming, well, first of all, we don't necessarily know that it's connected because of what we're going to learn later in this episode.
Do, because we've seen Professor Tomoe walk down to the laboratory to make coffee for kids.
Except that later in this episode, we're going to find out that you can open holes into alternate space, which is where I think his lab is. But I think even if it was actually connected, they wouldn't leave it connected because, again, that's the whole reason they left this house. They know that the Sailor Scouts know they live there, so they're like, well, we got to bug out. They'll find us.
Fine. So Chibiusa's walking around the house, and then, hey, did you know Chibiusa is not very bright?
Yes, I did know that.
She's young, and she's doing her best to be brave and take initiative because no one else is trying to find Hotaru at this point.
Chibiusa's looking for Hotaru, who is about 3 feet tall and very slight of build, I would say.
Oh, gosh.
She rounds a corner and sees a silhouette of Kaolinite, who is about 6'2", and the opposite of slight of build.
Well, it depends on how she was standing. Shadows always look taller.
Mm-hmm. No.
And so Chibiusa goes, Hotaru? And Kaolinite goes, hey, what's up? It's me, Kaolinite. Let's go see Hotaru. What's up? It's me, Sex Dracula.
Yes, very accurate. She's dressed in her all-black outfit again. Well, she transforms into it as we see her. But before anything bad can happen to Chibi, Mamoru shows up.
He's so cool that even in a closed room, his cape is billowing.
That's accurate. Unfortunately, as much as I love Mamoru and usually like to give him credit for doing good things, not super helpful here. He throws a rose, stops her from hurting Chibi. Oh, except that then Chibi gets thrown out of a window.
Only brought one rose. Only brought one rose. Really fucked up when it was time to use it.
She gets smashed through a glass window.
It's pretty brutal.
Yes.
Yeah, windows are really taking an L in this episode. So as she lands on the lawn, we see Kaolinite in her Sex Dracula dominatrix shoes stomp on the lawn, but then dead scream.
Oh, it's so badass, guys.
I loved it. This is like the best fucking animation. I never get tired of seeing this. It's so good.
It really, all of the outer senshi have gorgeous attacks.
Yes.
And it's also super not useful and does nothing.
No, it does literally nothing, which is like, it does fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Well, Kaolinite is extremely powerful at this point.
Yeah, but she doesn't even like swat it away like
No.
when they shot it at the Messiah of Silence a couple episodes. She just like throws down a ninja smoke bomb and that is it. Like, we are done here.
Yeah, they botched this completely, and she gets away with Chibi Moon and yelling out, "I've got the purest of hearts."
Chibi Moon has taken Tuxedo Mask's place as being the kidnapped victim of the season.
Well, fortunately, someone else is doing some attacks that actually matter and mean something. Hell yes, Shine Aqua Illusion is happening. Oh no, it did not happen. Ami just got bopped in the face. You would think Ami would know better than to be the third person to try this.
Well, you know what, Chris? Maybe the problem is...
Fourth!
Yes.
I'm sorry, she's the fourth. The only one who hasn't tried at this point is Sailor Moon.
Maybe the problem is that they're using attacks that are too powerful, and they should all go with their weaker original attacks.
Yeah, so we get the greatest hits of recycled animation. We get everybody's transformation sequence. We get all their second season attacks. Now we're getting fucking first season attacks. We get bubble spray. Not even bubble spray freezing or double bubble spray freezing.
Bubble spray, Love Me Chain, burning. What is the Mars one?
Fire Soul.
Fire Soul.
And Moon Tiara action.
And Moon Tiara action. Very unusual that we see that anymore.
And so we get, again, I want to walk through this real quick.
Please.
We get Bubble Spray,
Yes.
Venus Love Me Chain,
Yes.
Moon Tiara Action,
Yes.
Fire Soul,
Yes.
and then fucking Jupiter with a Goldberg spear. Just fucking tackles.
Well, that's my favorite because
And
that's
brings her to the ground.
that's the smartest thing that has happened because they're sitting there going, we keep shooting these giant powerful attacks at them and they just grab them and throw them back at us. Oh, why don't we just try fucking fist?
What if we just fucking hit him.
Beat the shit out of these girls. How about that?
This is the best episode of Sailor Moon.
I kind of wish they went further with that and just went, oh, you know what they can't counter? Physical violence. Boom.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Well, no, because what I love about this moment is that they know they can't, defeat them or attacks, so they're using like strategy, and they're coming together as a team. And they use Siobhan spray, to like cloud the area, and this way they can like disorient them.
Right. I would give any single item that I own if this episode had like bubble spray happens, and then Jupiter walks up, takes the staff out of their hand, and breaks it over her knee, and then starts punching them in the face.
That
All
would
right,
be
your wedding ring. Let's go.
I don't wear a wedding ring.
Oh, well, then
so
never
there.
mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. You win. You get it for free. So no, what they actually do is
just trying to like make a devil's bargain with me, Jordan.
Yeah, I was turning into Mephisto. I was going to claim your marriage in return for that. Here's what actually happens. Jupiter tackles one of them. Mars punches another one, and they run in
axe handle off the top rope.
Oh, there you go. They run in opposite directions. And again, it's bubble sprayed, so that everything is foggy and everything is confusing for them. And they are following the two scouts, and they pull a switcheroo so that they end up aiming at each other. The bad guys aim at each other and shoot each other and kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
And again, since they're the same person, it's kind of suicide. So now I was talking earlier about not explaining stuff and about the statue. The reason that's important is because, again, like for some reason all villains in Sailor Moon, Supreme has a kill switch, and when she dies, her statue explodes. And again, they don't explain this, but what you have to take as read is that when that statue explodes, everyone gets their hearts back.
It's also like very like the death of Supreme and Pitlul happens pretty fast. Like you can miss it. You cannot realize they are gone.
Well, because it also happens 8 minutes before the show is over, which is highly unusual for Sailor Moon. Especially when 10 of the minutes of this show have been the transformation sequence. So the fact that they're dead is surprising. But again, you have to just accept the fact that everyone got their hearts back. Because in my notes, I was going, well, all the kids are dead, right? They're just all dead.
It also opens up a tear in space.
Yes.
Like a wormhole.
Well,
like we're going Deep Space Nine in this.
I'm sure it's safe to step through. I'm sure everything will be fine.
Now they say it is Amy brings out her glasses. She analyzes
Amy puts on her visor, and they forget to animate her hair over it instead of under it, which makes it look really bad.
Yeah, you're right.
Or her hair, like she puts on the visor and literally like pinches her hair to her face, which is also possible, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it just looks bad. You're right.
Yeah. So they go to an alternate space.
Yeah, the passageway leads to an alternate space. That's a weird way to say that. But I recognize that alternate space because it's a place with lots of pipes and green smoke. That's Tomoe's lab.
Yeah. By the way, we get a shot right here of all the scouts standing next to each other where they're actually in their canonical height.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Which we don't see that too often. And Jupiter is towering over the rest of them, which is awesome.
So they're like, oh man, that's probably the Deathbusters' hideout. Should we go in or?
Big assumption, but turns out to be absolutely correct.
Guess what? Uranus, Neptune are already in there. How?
Well, they were already at Mugen Academy, remember?
Yeah, I know. Again, this is all very weird and doesn't make a lot of. There's not a lot of explanation for this stuff.
I mean, in 5 minutes when they're running away, Pluto and Tuxedo Mask are like, yeah, we got all the students out. It's like, you did? Right. All of them?
When did you do that? Okay, sure.
There's a couple of scenes that they had to cut out in editing.
I guess this is that they've run down that long staircase from last episode and swiped their cards on the swipe thing on the wall, and behind it was this alternate space.
I mean, they're in the creepy doll room, aren't they? Like, we see the throne behind him.
Oh yeah, okay, so that's where that is.
It almost looks like a different throne room, but
That's what I was trying to figure out, because we don't see the stuffed animals.
Yeah, I don't see
So
him.
I didn't know if this is the throne room or not.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who cares?
It doesn't
Not
really
us.
matter. So
Point being,
Tomoe's
it's time
going
to summon
crazy.
Gozer the Traveler.
he will come in the many chosen forms.
Tomoe is standing over his... Oh, no, he's standing over Chibi, who's
He's so
lying...
fucking crazy in this scene. It's great.
Yes, he's flipping out. He says they're lucky that they shown up so they can join the ceremony that's about to begin. They're freaked out because they didn't expect that the bad guys would have Chibi.
Well, they don't notice her at first, which is kind of like you didn't notice the bright pink child right behind him in the
Nope.
dark, gloomy room.
Yeah, on what is very clearly a sacrificial altar with like fucking H.P. Lovecraft room.
Mhm. So Sailor Uranus runs at them face first and goes smack into a super powerful force field that zaps her and throws her back.
Yeah.
And then Tomoe flips them the bird.
He does.
He pulls one of those little, I'm pushing up my glasses just casually with my middle finger. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, please cut that one out too. Please, I need it for the soundboard. This episode is like 30% soundboard, by the way. But
This is, I mean, but you especially seem to like the ones where I'm insulting you, which is fine. You can keep playing them if you want. So the scouts are now there, and they're all freaking out. Oh, man, what happens?
Oh, well, then Sailor Moon runs into the try to get Chibiusa and hits the what do you call it? The electric thing. And gets
Yeah, she
zapped.
hits it too. Although she does it, she goes and runs at it like boobs first, which is very weird.
Yes, it is quite evident that it is bosom first when she runs into to the force field. Force field. I couldn't think of that word. And then the Rosemary's Baby theme starts playing.
Yes,
Never been creepier.
Messiah of Silence starts singing, and to me, I kept thinking it's gonna be the Katamari theme, where she's going la 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 la.
Oh
That is not
no.
what she said.
Sailor Moon does walk into that force field like she's doing like Bender Strut from Futurama. Like she's doing a fucking pimp walk. Oh, this episode's great.
It's crazy. So what happens is the Messiah of Silence wakes up, and how does she get Chibi Moon's heart? Well, a crazy pink energy hand comes out of her chest and plunges into Chibi's chest and yanks her heart out as Chibi screams.
Yeah, it's a little different than what we have seen before.
Yeah, not the normal way.
Yeah, there's an energy claw involved.
Yeah.
It's not just like popping out of somebody's mouth or like going into a computer screen. No, it's torn out by a claw.
Well, I guess it can be inferred that the entity that has possessed Hotaro, because it's so close to the pure heart crystal that it needs, can form, enough, physical body to, go into Chibiusa's chest and rip out her heart crystal.
And Chris,
Yeah.
last episode, I believe, you were asking about how exactly is the Messiah of Silence planning to consume these hearts? Well, it's your lucky day. She just says, and
Gonna fucking snack on it like a box of Cheez-Its.
she opens wide and sucks that thing in and just swallows it whole.
And they say, hey, you can't do this because you're gonna awaken Sailor Saturn, and that's gonna destroy the world.
Yeah.
And you also can't do this because you're Hotaru's dad, and presumably that means you love her. And Tomoe turns around and goes, "Love? What's that?" And it's like he wrecked their world.
And so she swallows the heart. And Chris, what has X-Force been saying all this time? She's going to turn into Sailor Saturn,
She's
right?
gonna turn into Sailor Saturn. So I was really excited because we get to see a new transformation sequence. Because this is kind of the last one, right? Like, I mean, I know we get new characters, but this is she's the ninth Sailor Scout. I thought we were gonna see her transformation sequence.
But it's not.
Except we don't.
Psych.
We get Wicked Lady Part 2. This time it's personal. I did not know that Chibiusa and Hotaru were going to be able to bond over becoming Wicked Ladies.
Well, but I mean, this isn't quite like...
Yeah, this isn't Hotaru.
It is the entity that has possessed Hotaru. And again, I'm going back, I keep going back to like things that are better explained in the manga. The reason that X-Force is so terrified of Sailor Saturn Awakening is that when the Silver Millennium was essentially laid waste to, Sailor Saturn appears and they're all there and they witness Saturn raise her silence galleon and essentially destroy everything and kill them. And so that's why they're so terrified. It's not like just based on assumption. They've seen it happen before.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's kind of better explained in the manga of why they are so terrified of her awakening. And
so what we learn here is like you said, it's the heart wasn't going to Hotaru. The heart went to Hotaru's body. But living inside of Hotaru is this evil entity who introduces herself. Her name is Mistress 9, which is it's a total out of left field. Wait, who? What? Hang on. What's going on? Oh, and what does Mistress 9 do as her first act? Just fucking kills Kaori Knight.
It is stone cold. It is, I kind of love it because it comes out of nowhere. It's not even necessary. And it's like, your role is over. Bye.
Yeah, Kaori Knight got her the pure heart.
Yes. And then Kaori Knight is like talking to Tomoe and being like, oh, it was all worth it. We did this and now here we are and it's all going exactly as planned.
Oh, it's a brutal death. And I love it. I love how dark it is. And it also goes on the theme that, invariably a lot of the Sailor Moon villains will just arbitrarily kill random members of, their group. You get it with Darryl when she kills Zoisai. You get it Wiseman when he kills Saphir. So it is kind of an ongoing theme. It's like, you've outlived your usefulness. You can die now.
So at this point, Sailor Moon is like, hey, we should leave. And she grabs Chibiusa and fucking Mugen Academy explodes.
Yeah. This is some crazy nonsense because like they're saying, the alternate space just explodes and you get to see a bit more of how bad the damage is next episode. The entire top of the building is fucking gone. Like super not existent gone. And yet the scouts run out.
I'm not kidding. The building explodes.
Yes.
Then they run out from the basement.
Yeah, they're fine. They run out, not a problem.
Yeah, alternate spaces, man, they're weird.
And then this is around the time that they're like, oh shit, but there's like a zillion students. And they're like, yeah, we got them out, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Because they run out and they see Tuxedo Mask, not Setsuna and Memoru, they see Sailor Pluto and Tuxedo Mask. And they're like, yeah, we did it. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, Chibi's dead. So... good job on your 2 jobs, Sailor Pluto. guarding the door of time and protecting Small Lady. You're doing a bang up fucking job.
It's not a big deal, Chris. It's easy to fix. It's just what you do is you just connect Chibi's body to Mamoru's, and then everything's fine.
Yeah, you just plug her into the USB port.
What?
He like Hotaru has healing powers, which he does. It really is never brought up, but yeah, he has the ability to heal.
I do not remember that.
Again, it's a thing in the manga, and it's an important part when this happens in the manga. It's like, and it's kind of like the anime was like, oh right,
ridiculous. Because yes, they literally just say, it's okay. That's Chibi's body has been connected. Memoru and Chibiusa's bodies are linked now. Memoru's life force will keep her alive. That's the best we can do. I don't know who thought of this. I don't know how they did it. I know there's occasionally some glowing involved.
It's to keep him out of the final battle, because
Well, of course, yes.
because they're like,
Because
oh,
nobody cares.
He becomes her nursemaid, her life force nursemaid.
Yeah, he's a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah,
Good for him.
yes.
Taking some responsibility for the first time in his life.
No, not the first time. It's just he's not very good at it most of the time. Because earlier he was completely unable to save her.
So then we get the return of one of my favorite things about the original Sailor Moon intro sequence. Hell yes, it's time for some determined walking.
much determined walking.
And Sailor Moon says, "We'll fight for what we believe in."
Well, I love this moment because, she's, the Outer Senshi are like, well, we have to destroy, Mugen Academy and Mistress Nine, and she's like, no, Hotaru is still in there, and she never, settles for the, hard choice that you have to sacrifice to save everyone. She's going to save everyone without sacrificing. It's really, it's a key moment in who Sailor Moon is.
Yeah.
She will not let anyone die, even if they are possessed by evil entities.
I mean, she does let quite a few people die over the course. Don't get me wrong, I like it, and I get what you're saying, and I'm 100% agree with you. She does kill / let people die on a fairly regular basis.
Those are not people. Those are monsters.
Oh, okay. Those are monsters.
Remember season 2, she saves all sorts of people who are bad guys. The sisters all get
She
healed.
saves the sisters, and she saves Ale and Anne.
Yes.
Yeah, they did try to save Saphir. She did try to save Nephrite. It was, as long as they're not like droids and daemons and such, she does try to save them.
That is true. That is true. But yeah, how are there 4 episodes left in this season?
Oh, they're so good.
I mean, I'm sure they are, but this is 100% like a, hey, it's time to end the season. Hey, I hope you had fun with all the sexy race cars. It's time for murders.
It's a very heavy episode. There is a lot that happens.
There's a lot that happens, and there's a lot that we can learn from this episode. It's time for Sailor Businesses, where we talk about what we learned from each episode. And Lindsay, we will start with you. What did you learn from episode 123?
Shoot, I actually forgot to write that down.
You've listened to the show. You know you go first.
I know. Well, always prepare for the secret twin.
That's a good one. You never know.
You never know
when you're gonna find a
You never
secret
know,
twin.
especially when they announce that they are the final and last. They may be a secret twin, and they will wreck you.
It's a very good point.
Jordan, what did you learn from this episode?
True, actual truth. I am just now learning the actual powers of Tuxedo Mask. So I just looked it up. It says in the manga he was said to have some psychic abilities, such as a form of touch telepathy with Chibiusa, the ability to heal wounds in a manner similar to Hotaru Tomoe, and some psychometric ability. I never knew Tuxedo Mask was psychometric.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, I mean, that would explain why he always shows up. Psychometry is holding an object and being able to sense things about that object's history.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's a very cool power in like cool supernatural stories.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I never knew that. Actually, Chris, I do remember one of the tweets we got about our Chibisode was saying that the changes we said we wanted to make to Mamoru, that's the way he is in the manga and in Crystal, that to make him more brooding and more interesting in that respect. So.
Younger.
Younger, yes. All right, Chris, what did you learn?
I learned that
Cartoons are dumb.
Oh, you fucking bastard. How dare you fucking say that? Exactly. It's funny. It was you who insisted that this show be swearful, and yet I think I swear a lot more than you do now.
you like swear directly at me. Like, it's very rude.
I'm very emotional.
Chris has learned to usurp Jordan's voice and use it for his own nefarious purposes.
Yes, he
I
has.
have. I have learned that I can do this show, just me and Jake, and a guest.
Disagree.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out next time, buddy. So yeah, final thoughts on the episode. First of all, Mistress Nine rules.
Oh, she's so badass.
Yeah, I've already watched the next episode in case we were going to do 2 in this recording session, and that episode is also completely wild. But Mistress Nine is great. And I love that everything is coming together now. Like we're finding out what Tomoe's deal is, even if that does not explain anything about Tomoe.
Well, it does, especially in the next episode.
Next episode
It becomes they do explain some things.
Yeah, but it doesn't explain like why he loves snacks so much and why he took rhythmic gymnastics in college.
Chris, what explains why you like snacks so much?
I mean, that is true.
Snacks
I
are good.
fucking love snacks.
They're just good. That's it.
Yeah, but like, are we to believe that this? Well, I mean, spoiler warning. Are we to believe this entity that is possessing all these people also took rhythmic gymnastics in college?
Well, it's
that's a thing Tomoe has said about himself.
No, they obviously have access to the person's abilities and mind. And
yeah, I mean, he's possessed, but the real Tomoe still shines through. And he was an eccentric professor before he was possessed, and he's still an eccentric professor now.
I think he goes a little bit beyond eccentric, but
mad.
Okay.
Mad. He's a mad professor.
But yeah, like I genuinely. I knew that there was a character. If you would have said like, "Hey, who's Mistress Nine?" I would be like, "Oh, that's somebody from Sailor Moon," but I don't know who they are. So I knew the name, but I didn't know anything about them. Finding out that Mistress Nine is Hotaru's Wicked Lady, like not a 1-for-1 comparison, but like a similar deal. I didn't see that coming. I love that. I love them as 2 characters who can be like, yeah, I also wore a crazy black dress and had super long hair and tried to murder people.
Yes, I became a sexy adult. And
just got into the easy bake oven, popped out sexy. That's the way it always happens. But yeah, like this episode's great. Start here.
No, don't start here.
No, ridiculous.
This is no worse a starting point than Crystal Clear Destiny.
Yes, it is.
No, it is because Crystal Clear Destiny, the reason Crystal Clear Destiny works as a first episode or as a 27th episode or whatever the fuck it was, is because it is revealing stuff, but the stuff it's revealing is the backbone of the next 120 zillion episodes. Like, the thing that it's revealing is ultimately the setup of Sailor Moon. So it's big and it's crazy, but it's like, oh, crazy. The stuff that's being revealed in this episode is the setup for the next 3 or 4 episodes, and bananas.
It's also kind of the breaking point for the buildup of the entire season. This is where it's been leading to, because first it was the talismans, but there's something bigger, and it's that a sailor. I shouldn't say that; it's slightly spoilerific. But Hotaru has been possessed by an entity, and it's not Sailor Saturn. It is a nefarious entity. So it's not a good start episode. You will be deeply confused.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, I think you have to start here because you need this grounding to understand why people spend about 15 minutes discussing the mechanics of Sailor Teleport next week.
Ridiculous.
But it is a great episode.
No, I don't start here, but I did legitimately love this episode. I thought it was super fun. Super, for having for having so much recycled animation and a couple of very weird moments, there's some gorgeous animation. When Mistress Nine's first appearance and Kayla Knight's death, she fades out like a character in River City Ransom, but is still everything leading up to that looks really cool, and the fight with Supreme and Pitlull is also really cool. There's a lot of great stuff here. I genuinely loved this one.
Yeah, they definitely use their budget for these next couple episodes, and it shows. There's some gorgeous scenes, and in this and the next 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. Lindsay, before we get out of here, can you tell everyone where they can find you online should you wish to be found?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Of All My Hopes. That's basically it. I usually retweet a lot of political stuff right now.
Sure.
Don't know why. And